you an agent struggling to understand real estate economics? Would you benefit from learning how top agents structure their businesses? Then you've come to the right place.
And welcome to another edition of the Nerdy Agent Business Tip of the Week.
Business tip.
Business tip of the week.
This week.
Did you do that a little differently this week than you normally do for the intro?
I don't know, maybe. I don't have it written down in front of me. This computer is
AJ's
just
whole
for
business
show
tip
at
is
the
going to be
moment.
in that voice. He's going to talk that way the whole time.
This week we're going to talk about how to ensure your client gets to a lender and the best way to hand them off to a lender to make sure that communication stays open and that relationship is good.
What was the number we heard when we talked to Zillow on this?
75?
Was it like 40% of drop connections are happening between the agent and the lender?
Do you want to know why? Because I still see it on our team. The freaking agent says, reach out to ABC lender. Here's
their contact.
Here's a picture of their phone number. And then they're like, did you reach out? And they're like, oh, not yet. Or they never respond or they ghost or whatever. Because if you can make the connection between three people and two of them are on your side trying to really push this person forward, you have a better chance of making the connection.
So we got to back up, though. That's why 40% of them, the connection breaks down between the agent and the lender.
40% of deals are, they just fall through as that result.
What can the agents do specifically to ensure that doesn't happen?
I guess to back up, the most important thing they can do is to actually
How far back are we going? We just keep going back.
No, I was going to say, to actually have a good lender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's the
pretty
number
far
one
backwards,
first
though.
step.
Yes.
Right?
That is a good
and
step.
so for new agents, like, you got to find a good lender. Like if you have a crappy lender or someone that's not super responsive or fast, that matters a lot.
What do you look for in a good lender?
I would say early in your career, I would look for someone that you think is similar to you.
Yep.
That's also in growth mode. That potentially has a decent like sphere or network in the area, because that can be a good source of leads for you. Can be a really cohesive business, but also someone that's quick to respond.
Yep.
Communicative, responsive. For me, it was just really important to have somebody that really understood financing, like at a deep level, and wasn't just a sales guy.
Yep. Right now, too, the rates are important, right? Because rates are higher, so more clients are shopping rates. So I'd say having a lender that actually has good rates is good, because otherwise you get them a lender and they get pre-approved and they shop rates and like, your lender's rates are terrible.
And someone who tracks it. Because
Yes.
someone that can act, when the client says, what's going on with rates, where are they going? They have an answer. They have some knowledge behind that.
Yep. I would say the other thing with lenders, too, is having someone who actually wants to help somebody with their personal finances, not just get them pre-approved to buy a house. So I have some lenders who have been like, my favorite lender, he talks to the clients, he's like, sometimes like, I think it would be wise for you to maybe save for a year before you buy a house, because with X, Y, and Z, this might be a better option for you long term. So
that's the first step, getting a good lender. Second step is how can you connect the client with the lender to ensure that relationship
It's
stays
got to
good.
be either a group email or a group text message. I often will send an email with a CC of the lender, and I introduce that lender as like, hey, here's my rock star lender, so-and-so. As I mentioned, they are really, really good at X, Y, and Z. And then I say, hey, lender, this is my good friend, so-and-so. We met through whatever, so there's some sort of connection
This is
there.
roughly their situation.
Yep, and then we just make that connection to bring it all together. I very rarely have my lender lose the business if I got told that they wanted to be connected with somebody. It's almost always done. And then the beauty is, like I mentioned before at the very beginning, I've got two people rather than just one, connecting with that person, being in front of that person, and we kind of seem like a team.
yep. I do the text versus the email.
I only text now.
So if I have somebody I'm talking to, I'm like, hey, have you been pre-approved? Like, no. I'm like, would you like me to connect you with a lender? I have a local person that's awesome. They do a great job. They take great care of my clients. Like, oh yeah, of course. Before I do my group text, I'll usually either text or call my lender to say, hey, I have this person. I'm going to send you a text message. Just be prepared for it. So if they know it's coming and then I send the text and then the lender responds in 12 seconds because they know it's coming, it makes that lender look really good for the client too, and it also increases the probability that they're going to all connect.
I think there's a difference too between where the client comes from. So like you're doing a lot of sphere business, so the email kind of holds
Easier.
up. The thing about with leads that the text and the group text matters a lot is that not only can the lender text back and say, hey, like I'd love to chat, when's a good time? They don't respond. They can just pick up the phone and call the lead right away.
Yep.
And a lot of times, like my lender will just call the lead right away instead of scheduling a time. The person answers and they just start going that way.
Yep.
Because you're more likely to keep them kind of on the hook if you can keep contacting them by phone.
It's a good tip.
I think that's all we have for the Nerdy Agent Business Tip of the Week.
Business tip.
Business tip of the week.